It's a very difficult trick, as you can see, especially when you have to walk to that stupid red dot. But I'll get there. Oh, the light is really heavy. But this is how innovation works. And the reason why I can still do this is I just have to look at the top of the field hockey stick. And the rest, the brain is doing the rest. My hands are going back and forth and back and forth. And, well, that's easily. So you can do this at home easily. You can do this for your team, explaining how difficult change is. Because as board of directors, you have a clear vision. But here is where the implementation works. And you're going back and forth and back and forth. This is where the people say they don't know what they are doing. They don't explain. And we are going here back and forth and back and forth. There's no strategy. They don't have any vision. This is head office. This is the shops. This is government, if they have a vision. These are the people. So this is how it works. But you see, when I don't have a vision, when I don't have an inspiring goal to put myself behind, when I just look at you, oh, I missed you almost. The hockey stick drops. And then you really need to have a vision, and you need to have a goal. And this is what I do every day, going back and forth, because I'm in implementation. And I get all those kind of strategies, and it feels like this. And the strategies, whether I'm for a food company, a dog food company, an insurance company, I get the same strategies. Only the name has changed, it feels like. There's probably a crisis in strategy consultancy. There's no lofty vision, there's no man on the moon. So but you have to choose. There's same why, how, what. And it leaves people indecisive and ambivalent when we are in implementation. So we need a lot of creativity to get more strategic and better visions. And we need a lot of creativity in implementation. So you have to face your fears and start choosing while you are visioning your goal. And if you have a really lofty goal, you can also stop micromanaging, because everybody knows where we're going. And you don't explain your goal just once, but you have to explain it constantly, every time when you are in implementation. And a crisis helps. If you have a crisis, it helps for you to focus and to get a lofty, inspiring goal. I had my own crisis when TEDx called, only 6 weeks ago, to invite me for this talk. The first thing that I thought was, I have to lose weight. And it's in English, which is also a bit of a problem. So I found myself hiring this food coach, because you need a stick and carrot. I have to go there every week, and she weighs me, and she tells me all kinds of tips and tricks for my diet. Now, I see you thinking it didn't work, but I already lost 10 pounds. And I'm still doing it, eh? And no wine. Well, maybe tonight a little bit, but it helps a little bit. So she is my stick and carrot. We need a goal. We need a good challenge. Another, never spoil a good crisis. I didn't one. The tomato growers. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, remember that? The Germans called our tomatoes Wasserbomben, water bombs. How could they? We were furious, especially the growers were furious, obviously. But when we are honest, and when we taste them, they were water bombs. And look what happened. It was the birth of Tasty Toms, a brand in tomatoes. And when you go to the Albert Heijn, to the supermarket now, you see all kinds of different tomatoes with a good flavor, with a lot of value. They make lots more money. There's a margin now. So never spoil a good crisis. Okay, so you found your goal. You've chosen in creativity, with creativity. You have this lofty man-on-the-moon goal, and now you're going into that process. You're going back and forth, because that's innovation. You never know. If you know where you're going, if it feels easy, it's not innovation. If it feels then it must pain. You must feel pain, and a little bit here, butterflies in your stomach. Then you know you're doing something really, really good. And then you also need creative leadership. Ooh, creative leadership. No, 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 no. Creativity is handled by our marketing department. A CEO once told me. He said, no, 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 we are not creative. We are for the important stuff. We are for the financials. Creativity is something, it has to do something with pictures or something. No, no, no. Especially in this time. We are living in a change of an era. It's not a crisis, it's a transformation. So creativity is crucial. Crucial also for the leadership, for you. You cannot delegate it to a marketing department. It has to be in the vein of everybody. And you have to live it. And you have to create a creative culture even. And culture eats strategy for breakfast. So the culture is more important than even the best strategy. So maybe along that CFO, you need a CCO, a creative culture officer, or whatever you want to call her. Okay, creativity, I have to be creative. How do I do it? Do I wear red shoes? What should I do? No, 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 no. Just look at nature, for instance. This is a group of bonobos. When a bonobo is born, he has a white spot on his back. And it means you're clear. You can do whatever you want. You can fool around. You can pull some strings. You can goof around. And it keeps the whole group very playful and very, well, playful. But after 2 years, amazing how nature is, after 2 years, that little white spot disappears. He's grown up, no more playing around, and he's back into the hierarchy. Great how nature does that. How many young bonobos do you have running around in your organization and in your company? And what can they do? Can they fail? Can they just pull your nose? And have you ever been a young bonobo? Can you feel that feeling? Go back to that feeling of being a young bonobo and get that into the culture. You can play and you can get that creativity feeling a little bit more. So get some young bonobos. That's my advice. You probably have a lot of more fun. Is he working? Okay, so... Nee, dit is niet goed. Yeah, here. So you have your... we're into animals today. So you have your bonobos, and then you already start to feel it a little bit. You enlarge your comfort zone. When I'm working constantly in change and innovation, and people ask me, oh, that's a good thing. We should get out of the box. We have to get out of our comfort zone. But that's not true. Because when people get out of their comfort zone, it's biology, it's your old brain working, you stiffen up, you get stiff. It's afraid. Your fear-based thinking starts to work. So you don't want to get out of your comfort zone, you want to enlarge your comfort zone for everybody in the organization. So you have a lot of space to just wiggle around and goof around. And you create that by being a trustful and creative leader. Trust is very important. So, and then you shift from fear-based thinking to abundance-based thinking. And you get all those people playing around, and they start to come up with their own ideas. You don't have to hire all kinds of agencies, but your people also invent their own ideas. We have seen so many people today in great talks, and you got a lot of inspiration today. So you're not dismissed now anymore. You have to act on it. You have to act on it tomorrow by being a creative leader, creating a large comfort zone, and getting some young bonobos. That would be my dream for you. And then you have this large comfort zone, and you start creating ideas. And you know how it works with creating ideas. You have to have a lot of ideas. Put your finger in the air, like this. Can you do that? And draw a fish at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. If you ask people to draw a fish, they always draw a fish like this. Or the other way around. Some people get really creative and put some bubbles. Completely normal, completely normal. There's nothing wrong about that. But you can imagine that your competitor is also thinking about these ideas. If I ask you to draw a fish that doesn't look like this, and doesn't look like this, and doesn't look like this, probably at fish 20 or 30, you are starting to get original. When I'm in brainstorms, someone says, oh, let's do something with seasons. That's fish 5. Oh, let's do something with older people. That's maybe fish 13. Completely, that's not wrong, but you have to start thinking in fish 100. Train yourself. And train because you have to get those first 20 fishes out of there. And then, if everybody starts to think in fish 100, you can imagine what kind of culture you create within your company. You create a happy culture. And with a happy culture, you create happy people. In companies where there's a creative culture and when people laugh a lot, they are more productive and more effective. So it feels sometimes contradictory to invest in those kind of things, but trust me, it is. I see it constantly around me. So you create happy culture, happy people, and probably also happy products and happy clients and happy value, and therefore also a happy future. So get yourself some more fishes, some more bonobos, and find your play and humor, and then you will play, change, and grow. Thank you very much.